Good afternoon everyone and welcome to the If Knits Could Kill podcast. My name's Claire, that's Callie, and this is my first podcast of 2025. Unfortunately, last year I had a few health issues and I couldn't podcast. I was super busy as well and I made quite a lot of items, but I'm not going to show you all of them today because we'd be here forever. If you've been around for a while, you'll know I live in Ireland with my husband and my children. I have plenty of pets because I am a volunteer at the local rescue. I'm in the TNR and animal rescue section. So if you'll hear pitter patters around or there's a dog come up to say hello, then don't be surprised because they all just love the limelight. So today I want to discuss my current whips. I have one thing that I finished last night, so I'll show you that. I have a couple of deliveries that have come. I've had a few deliveries, but we won't go through all of them since I last podcast. But I'll show you what's the most recent ones that have come in. And what else? Oh, a couple of things that I'd like to do in the future. So before I start all that, I just want to say Happy New Year to you all. I hope you had a lovely Christmas and I hope you all got some lovely Christmas goodies and enjoyed your time with your friends and family. So without further ado, let's look at my only finished project to show you today. So, since last summertime, I learnt how to make socks and I have been addicted. There is always a pair of socks on my needles. I started off with the 9-inch Zing, Knit Pro Zing, and I was getting so annoyed with them because it caught where the join of the cable and the actual needle and it drove me nuts. So then I purchased myself some small 9-inch Chigoos, but unfortunately they are really expensive here. So I only bought 2 of those. And then I found Addy Sock Wonders, I think they're called, in our local, well I say local, I order them online. They're over in Dublin at Winnie the Wool Wagon. So I've tried the Addy and I find them to be really good as well. And the price isn't as bad as the Chigoos. Now I know, you know, your tools are for life and all that, but I just, because I knit 2 at once, it's like over 30 quid to buy 2 needles and it's just like... So I thought I'd try the Addy and I was very happy with them. So I started buying a few of those. So let's get on to my only finished item I can show you today. If you ever want to see the stuff I've been making, I'm more on Instagram a lot. When I finish something, I usually post it on there. I pop the pattern I've used and I also pop the yarn I used and where I got it from. So if you want to keep up with what I'm making, check me out on Instagram. I'm at If Knits Could Kill, and also my Ravelry. I always keep that updated as well, and anything that I change in the pattern or whatever will be in the comments underneath the pattern. And you can follow me there. So these are the socks I finished last night. These are the Socksploration socks by Earth Tone Girl, sorry. So these have a shadow wrap heel. Now I kind of like the shadow wrap. I know it's not as big as the main heel and gusset, but I think these fit me okay. So I just did a vanilla sock, and this is, I don't think I have the tag, it's West Yorkshire Spinners Starling. When I went over to England in the summer, in the winter, it was Christmas time, I ordered myself about 20 odd balls of West Yorkshire Spinners from the Spotted Sheep in Ramsbottom. She sells each ball, everything's in the sale, the sock yarn. She's selling them off for like £5. Now over here, you're paying at least €12 a ball for the West Yorkshire spinners. So I thought, bargain. And I filled my basket and I bought about 20, I want to say. They're all in my new cabinet. And I love West Yorkshire spinners because they're all stripy and they're all different. So yeah, these I did 15. I usually do 15 rounds for the cuff. This time round I did 2x2 rib, and then I do 50 lines for the leg, then I do my heel, and then I just do my measurement. I think it's around 70 rows for my foot, and then I did the rounded toe out of Knitty Natty's new winter socks pattern. It's mainly, I don't want to like get in trouble, so it's more of a rounded toe at the end, rather than you don't have like 6 stitches or 8 stitches at the end to Kitchener stitch. You have loads more, and it creates more of a round effect when you put them on your feet. So I've kind of decided that that is my toe from now on. I prefer that kind of toe. So yeah, I'm super happy with these. These are going to be a gift. I'll put them in my gift box. I've started a box where every pair I knit, I'm going to pop them in there, and then, unless they're for me or the kids, I will throw them in there and they'll be ready for gifts when I need to give somebody a present. So if you're looking for a decent vanilla pattern, there's loads of them, and I've tried so many. I'm not saying that any are better than others, but for the shadow wrap heel, go to Earth Tone Girl. She's actually on YouTube as well, and I love her YouTube. So that's that. I went to England again last weekend. It was my birthday, and my mum paid for me for a flight to come over for the weekend, and we headed off to Cleveleys, Bury, Bolton and Fleetwood. So we had a drive round, and I only found one proper wool shop in Cleveleys, and I got some yarn, which I'll show you later. Then we went to Fleetwood Market, and there was a lady there that sold a lot of acrylic yarn. There was so many different balls of it, but I didn't buy anything from there. So I was a bit gutted, because that was the only time I got to see yarn while I was over. Because I live somewhere where you have to order online, it's so different to squish it. And I was watching Amora, she's a YouTuber from England, on her podcast last night, and I was absolutely gutted to find out there was a couple of really good yarn shops in Blackpool. Literally a few minutes down the road of where I were. Oh, gutted. So I was like, okay, I'll just go there the next time I come. Hold on, I'll let the dog in. At the end of her video, she said, oh, I'm going away next weekend. I'm going to Blackpool. They have a yarn festival. Oh my God. I went on the wrong weekend. I could have gone to a yarn festival. So yeah, I am absolutely gutted. But I will be watching her podcast to see what I missed. And I was hoping to bring back more yarn, but obviously I didn't find any shops that I needed to get stuff from. So never mind, there's always next time. So I don't want to keep you. I know I'm going to have this rambling a bit, so I'm going to get on to my whips. So at the moment I have 6 different whips. 2 that you've seen before, and technically 4 new cast-ons, but because I've not been on since, I think it was around November last year, I know, slapped my wrist, I have 4 that I've been working on since then. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with my 2 that you would remember from last year. So I'm going to start with my 4 Seasons temperature blanket. I was hoping to have this done for the end of January, but it didn't work out for me. Please excuse the dogs because they've decided to play fight behind me. I am a little bit behind with it, but I'm nearly there. So this is the autumn section of my 4 seasons temperature blanket. I've already done winter, spring and summer. This is the last section. Then you go all the way round and then you join them all together. So I'll move back a bit. So this is autumn. And each day is a different temperature colour. And as you can see, I went for browns for my autumn section. Browns, oranges, there's a bit of reddy in there, and there's a pinky red. And this is where I'm at. I have literally just got one more row of the white there to finish off that, and then you just do a couple of the plain rows like at the bottom, and I'll be done. So in the next few days now, that'll all be done, and I will start going around the edges and hopefully join it all together very soon, and hopefully I'll have a finished blanket to show you. I'm not going to say the next podcast because I'll be lying probably, but this has been fantastic. If you're looking for something different, mosaic crochet is amazing. I love mosaic crochet, and because you're doing different every line, it's not like a normal temperature blanket where you're just constantly going across, and it's boring. That's why I don't do them sort of temperature blankets. This is my first ever temperature blanket because all I could find was these lines. And if that's what you're into, that's what you're into, but I'm not. So yeah, that is the 4 Seasons temperature blanket by the Crochet Hook Cottage. My second whip is also by the Crochet Hook Cottage. She is on Instagram, Ravelry, Facebook as well, I think. And late last year, she put out a testing call for another temperature blanket, and I applied and I got accepted. So I've been working on this for a long time now, a few months, but it's going to take a while. It is a big blanket. It's called the Planet Earth temperature blanket, and I decided to do mine in blues and greys. Now, what I was going to say, this is literally just up to May, and that's it. So I will try and show you a bit of it, because this is where I'm up to at the moment. This is how high I've got it, but it's really wide. So let me see which way up it goes. I don't want to show it you upside down. That way. Right. Oh. So that's the end, as you can see, and it goes all the way across. And if you want to see a better picture of this, I've already put it up on my Instagram, and I keep updating my photo on Ravelry as well. So yeah, this is only up to May, and I'm doing my birth year, 1983. I found a website online that I could put in the year, and they would tell me the dates, the temperatures for them dates, which was fantastic. But it's old school because it's drawn out like the map, and you can go and have a look, and it's like how it used to come up on the telly when you were watching the Weather Channel. So it's really cool. But yeah, I'm doing 1983, and for both of my temperature blankets, I'm using durable in white. I've got a ball to show you. I don't think I've got the tag. There's no tag. Yeah, it's nice. It's got a bit of a sheen to it. But yeah, I'm using durable in white, which is a 4-ply, and then I'm using Drops Baby Merino in all the colours. that I'm using. So I'm loving how it's turning out, and it's going to be such a nice blanket, both of them are, to snuggle under and watch the telly. So they're the two whips that you know about. My next whip was it was a bit of a rushed cast on. While I was away over Christmas at my family's house, my husband decided my dogs look cold and proceeded to give them my fleece blankets that I cover myself with. Quite a lot during the winter months, I do like to have a blanket over my legs when I'm crocheting or just sat on the chair. So I had no blanket left. He'd robbed it for the dogs. So I was like, right, what have I got in stock? Because I did have a lot of oddballs that needed to be used. What have I got in stock that I could just make myself a really quick blanket? And this is what I decided. I'm using, oh, not the camera. It's the Corner to Corner Throw, which is a free download on Ravelry, but you have to go off on the website to get the free download, and it's by Yarn Inspirations. So this is where I'm up to now. I've got quite far, and I've not even been working on it that long. I think it's about 2 weeks in. So now I've just got to where I want it, and I've just started to come straight down on both sides. And these were the huge 400 gram balls of yarn that I had in. Chunky, the coloured ones are Aran and the grey is Chunky. So I originally bought these to make a shawl, and I didn't end up making it, but I thought it'd make an amazing blanket. So I bought this one, which is Stylecraft with tweed, I think it is. I don't have the label for it. Stylecraft with tweed, and it's like a duck egg. Then the grey I picked up in my local Mr. Price cheap shop, Top Value Chunky, and it's just a shade number TC11, and it's just a chunky yarn, chunky grey silver. So I decided to put a strip in there, and then I was looking, I was like, oh, I have another ball of duck egg, and I bought this at the Spotted Sheep when I went over. I actually asked her for more balls of it, but she didn't have any more in stock, so I only had one ball. She only had one ball, and it's the Emu Classic. And this is also duck egg tweed, but as you can see, it's much different colour. And when I bought this, I was in England, and this is the one I had here already in Ireland. So I brought it home and then realised they were two completely different colours, but it doesn't matter. So I decided to just stripe it like that. So I'm doing 3 lines of the darker, then 1 line of the silver, and then 3 lines of the lighter duck egg, and then back to the 1 line, and then back to the 3 lines, blah blah blah. So every day I'm trying to do 1 colour strip, except when I've got to this, like I did these last night. So tonight I'll only do the 1 strip of silver, but on the other nights I do the 3 strips of whichever colour I'm on, and it's turning out really nice, and it's really warm. So, and I'm using it as a blanket as I make it, which, I mean, it's just amazing, isn't it? So yeah, I'm super happy with it, and I can't wait to see it finished. I will pop up a picture when I've finished. I haven't added this to my Ravelry. I was looking this morning, I thought I had, so I'll do that this afternoon. I will pop it on my Ravelry page so you can see the pattern on there. And hopefully, I reckon I'll get it finished quite quick, because now I'm already on the decrease, like I said. So, and then I need to put a border on it, but I'm not quite sure which way I'm going to go with it yet. So yeah, it's a lovely blanket, really quick. Like I said, I've only been working on it for the last 2 weeks-ish, and I've got this far already, and it already covers me, and the dogs have already sat on me when I'm crocheting now and trying to steal this blanket. So it's a bit of a nightmare. So my next whip that I would like to talk to you about is my Musselburgh hat. So Vera Yarn Designs, who I buy quite a lot of yarn from, she was having a sale one day and I picked up a beautiful skein of this blue black, and it's like a greeny blue, like a teal. And when I pulled it out, I thought that'd make a really nice hat for my husband. Now my husband does have a large head, so when I measured him and I checked, he was the size large on the Musselburgh. I then started making it, and last week, I do 5 rows a day on this. Last week I realised I wouldn't have enough yarn, and I thought, that's weird. I thought it was a 1 skein project. And it turns out, because his head's so big, I needed just more than a skein because I think I got 390 metres in one. So I ended up having to order another one to finish it off. So this is where I'm up to. Ooh, my little mini bit that I had left is there. This is where I'm up to. I've really enjoyed this. To say that it's a just a stocking stitch pattern, a knit stitch all round because it's on circulars, I don't mind it. Now I couldn't just sit here and do it for hours every day, but my 5 rows I do a day is easy, do you know? So I just do 5 rounds and I put it down. The top, I went online and I saw that Knitty Natty had a tutorial how to start it with a crochet hook, so I did that. I went with that one. So yeah, I'm on, I think I've done 16.5 inches up to now. So I've got a few more inches to go before I can start decreasing. But do you know what I've realised? Don't tell somebody you're making them something. I don't know why I didn't think of this before. Because all they do is go, is it ready yet? Is it ready yet? Is it ready yet? My son did that with his socks the other week. He was like, Mum, are you going to make me some socks? I said, yeah, I'll make you some socks. So I got him some colours out and I said, which ones do you want? And he picked his colours. And then after that, it was just constantly, have you finished them yet? Have you finished them yet? Have you finished my socks yet? So yeah, not doing that anymore. So I'm not going to tell him. I'm not going to tell him anymore because my husband, he's been the same. Is it finished yet? Is it finished yet? Am I going to get to wear it yet? And I'm like, chill, will you? You can always wear it next Christmas. So yeah, that is the Musselburgh hat by Isolde Teague. Fantastic pattern. Very easy for beginners, I reckon. It's just that cast on is a little bit tricky from what I read of it. So that's why I went with Knitty Natty's idea on YouTube on how to start it with a crochet hook, because I can crochet as well as knit. So yeah, that is my next whip. So you may remember, if you've been with me since last year, during the summer I visited Springwools in Dublin, Tala, and I picked up the King Cole Fjord. I got a blue version and I got a pink version. This is shade 4557 and it's a lovely, soft and 100% anti-pilling acrylic, 100 grams per ball. And I picked up 4 balls of this to make my daughter a sweater. Now, I've never knitted a sweater before. This is my first go, so if it doesn't look right, just remember, this is a beginner. I've done quite well with this now. So I have 2 balls at the moment that are attached because I'm doing the sleeves, and I've been doing 5 rows per sleeve every day because I've already done the body. And it is the Flax Sweater, Flax DK by Tin Can Knits. I downloaded the app as well, which is absolutely fantastic because when you click on the flax, it opens it up and you can use it like Knit Companion, because I've started using Knit Companion as well. And you can press down and it goes on to the next one and it stays there. So that if you log out and everything else and you come back, you know where you're up to, which I think is absolutely brilliant. And it's a free app, so it's perfect. So this is where I'm up to. So I've done the body, I've done the back, and I even did short rows on the back. I even did short rows. So proud of myself. I YouTubed it. To be fair, I YouTubed it, but I have made the actual body now, and I'm just working my way down the sleeves. Now, like I said, it's not going to be perfect. It's not going to all match where it's meant to, because I'm just quite happy to just put my balls on and get going. I'm just proud of myself making something that she's actually going to be able to wear, to be honest. So yeah, this has geared me up now to start a sweater for myself, which I'll talk about later. But yeah, this is where I'm up to. I measured under her arm and everything else, so I got the correct length, and I measured her body and whatnot. So I think it's turning out lovely. And like I said, this King Cole Fjord is so soft. It's so nice for an acrylic yarn. So yeah, I think I'm doing well though. So that is King Cole Fjord from Springwools, and the flax sweater by Tin Can Knits. So my last wick to show you, I have barely started, so there's not much to show you, but I'm making the Dustland blanket by Stephen West. So I have about 10 balls of this Signet Baby Pure yarn, and I've been looking for the perfect project for it, and I think this might actually just be the one. So it is a knitting pattern for a blanket, and it swaps and changes, which you know I like because I don't like boring. And I just do a couple of rows of this a day because it's rather large. I think it's about 200 stitches wide, but there's an I-cord edge, and this is all I've done up to now. But I'm really enjoying it because it's just different all the time. You're not doing the same stitches. So I've just got onto the second section, I think, which is a moss stitch next. If you can see, I don't know if you can see it. You see the lines there? It's so cool. I started this the other day, and I'm really happy with it, and I'm really enjoying it because it's a colour pooling yarn, and a lot of people were making those blankets, and that's what I bought it for. The ones where you crochet and it says, like, you know, you'll get 5 stitches out of the one colour and 3 stitches out the other, and then you've got to start doing it really tight to make sure you get 5 in the next row and that, so then you get the diagonal lines going through the blanket. And I started it and I tried it, and it wasn't for me. So I unballed everything and I've got them all there, and I decided to try something else, and this is what I picked up to now. And you know what? The colours are lovely. I wouldn't have thought about knitting a blanket because it's so big. And I can imagine it's going to take me a while. So this one will probably be around for a while, but I'm looking forward to seeing how it turns out. So yeah, that is the Dustland throw by Stephen West. So in my next section, I would like to discuss future projects, what I'm hoping to get on my needles in the next couple of weeks. And the first one is the Twilight Garden socks. Carolina Adamski. Murdering names as usual. I will show you the yarn that I've picked out, and I'll pop up a picture. So last summer when I was over in England, I picked up a skein of Knit Pro Symphony Terra, and it's in colourway Summer Romance. So this is it, ready to go. I wound it up this morning when I finished my socks from last night, but now I don't know which colour to put with it. So now I've got to decide what I've got to do. You need a main colour. So I love Drops Nod for my socks. So I have this brown for the main colour for the background. or do I go black and have it punchy? Can't make my mind up. I'm hoping you can leave some comments before I start this so that I can decide which colour to go for. It's so hard. I'm no good with colours. I know you've got to go like completely different. I mean, I have a blue, but like this blue, but I'm worried that it's gonna take it out of the flowers when I start using it and in the pattern. But it's a lovely yarn, so yeah, can't wait to see how this makes up. And it's a 75% superwash merino, 25% polyamide, 380 meters, 100 grams. So yeah, that is my first cast on in the next, hopefully 12 hours, if I get a chance. So that is number one. The next cast on I would like to do is the striped hype sweater. I'd seen that on Nick California. She wears one of those and I thought that looks like a really nice hoodie. Well, jumper, sweater. She likes it quite baggy and I like my clothes quite baggy, especially my jumpers. These are my work jumpers, obviously, but I don't like tight jumpers. I am not the smallest girl. So, you know, I'd like to cover up and I do like oversized. So I picked out the striped hype sweater and I've decided to go with drop sleemer. I did look into the hand dyed yarns, but it was going to cost me about 140, I think, for the necessary yarns. So Drops had a sale on, so I decided to go with the drop sleemer. And I've picked this for my main colour, which is colour 206. It's like a very light beigey sandy colour. And then I did order one of the colours. That's Callie. I did order one of the colours, but it was supposed to be ruby red, but I don't feel it's a ruby red. I think it's more of a pinky. So I don't think I'll be putting that in it. I need to get a different colour. So if you've got any ideas what will go with what I've picked, that'd be great. So one of my colours is 701, which is like a teal petrol. This one, which is 707, is a rust. Then I went for this one, which is like a mustard. It's colour 2923. And black, which is colour 8903. So these are for my stripes, and I need one more set of stripes, so I need to find another colour. So I don't know whether to go for like another blue, like a navy, or like a slightly lighter blue, or a green, or a brown. So yeah, if you have any ideas, please pop them below, because this will be my very first ever sweater. And drop sleemer is lovely and soft. I can't wait to see how it works up. I've never worked with drop sleemer before, but I think it's going to make a lovely jumper, and I can't wait to make the stripe hype. So if you're making a stripe hype and you've got any tips for me, please leave them down below. So the next sweater I would like to start is the Wild Air sweater. I had seen this on sale on Instagram and I thought it looked like such a lovely soft jumper to wear. So I decided that I actually bought Drops Nord in the silver, which is colour 3. And I tried it with brushed alpaca silk because I'm numb, and I didn't realise the brushed alpaca was actually a bulky weight mohair. So obviously it was really stiff when it was coming out, and I'm like, what have I done wrong here? Like, I was a couple of stitches out, and I'm like on my test square, and I'm like, what the hell am I doing? And it worked. I figured out after speaking to someone, that I was using the wrong mohair. So this is Drops Kid Silk, and I'm using colour 10. It's darker, but I think it'll be nice together. So yeah, I'm hoping to cast this one on as well, and I'm looking forward to seeing how this turns out. And I think this is going to be one of them jumpers that I'm just going to live in as well as my stripe height. I've never made a jumper before, so this is all new to me. But I've read through the instructions and I think I get the gist of it. And anything I don't, I YouTube. So I'll get there in the end, or I'll ask you guys, because you lot probably know more than I do. So yeah, this is going to be my wild sweater. All the details of all the patterns that I talk about today will be down below. I always put them in the comments. So after all that now, let's just talk about a couple of things that I've had delivered since I've last podcast. So I've had I've had these wrapped up and I only opened them this morning, of my subscription, which I've actually cancelled now because I have got a few of hers and I would like to try somebody else's yarn, from Sophisticated Mayhem. So for you today, I have November, December and January's. So this is the one that was delivered in November. It's a bit of pink and greys, which is actually quite nice. It's 400 meters, 100 grams, 75% merino, 25% nylon superwash. So that's my first one that I got from them. The second one was December's, the same. Oh, sorry, I didn't tell you what name it was. Hope You Know. And the next one is Gentle Breeze. And the last one is Wonder. And this is the same as well. These are all sock yarns. That's beautiful, isn't it? That's lovely colours. So yeah, so they were the 3 Sophisticated Mayhem that I had from November, December and January. These are my last ones that I'm going to get from there for now, because I'd like to try some more subscriptions out. Sophisticated Mayhem are only on Instagram, and you have to inbox to set up the subscription, and you can get 1, 2 or 3 skeins a month, I think it is. And yeah, you pay at the beginning of the month and they post you one out by the end of the month. So yeah, I've had these since, I think I started getting them last summer. I think it was about June, July time. So yeah, I've had quite a few of these now. So now I'm looking for a new subscription to sign up to. So yeah, they're them. Then when I was in England during Christmas, I had seen this in Dunelm. It's the Hayfield Spirit, and the shade is 0408. And I loved it, and I thought it was really nice. And Dunelm was selling them off for £2 a ball. £2 a ball. But at the time, I was looking for stuff for my daughter's birthday. We were doing a birthday party for her. She turned 21. So I needed to save my money, really, to be getting that stuff. So my mum then surprised me with 5 balls of this when I went over last weekend to make a blanket. So I'm going to make my daughter, she's 10, I'm going to make my daughter a blanket because she loves like unicorns, mermaids, things like that. So I'm on the lookout now for another mosaic blanket for her. I do have a Pegasus, I think it is. I may do that one, I'm not sure, but I'm just trying to decide, the same as the other the same as the others, what colour to put with it. I think I'm going to go with white for the actual picture side of it, but who knows, don't know. Oh, and I've started selling some of my bits on Vinted as well. So if you're on Vinted, I'm Floss Chelsea. And I find Vinted fantastic for selling all your stuff that you're not going to use. So some of my yarns are on there, and I've been selling yarns all weekend. And yeah, it's a great selling platform. So next, I went to, where did I get this from? I think it was that shopping Cleveland's. I'll pop the details down below. I forgot what the shop's called, but I'll write it here. And I picked up 3 of these. It's the double knitting by James C. Brett, and it's like a it's got like a mohair look to it and DK mixed together. It's nice. This is a colour SH06. It's 80% acrylic, 20% wool, and you get 550 meters per ball. So I got 3 balls of that, and I'm thinking of making myself a cardigan with it. So yeah, that could be next. And the last 2 that I got, literally that's all I bought from her, is 3 of these and these. I got this Woolcraft Superwash sock yarn because my mum really liked the colour of them, so this is going to be my mum's socks, in shade 986, and it's 75% superwash wool, 25% polyamide, and I don't think there's a colour. Oh, I already said 986, didn't I? But I thought it was said. Knits to 4 ply, it says. So they're going to be socks for the mother. And then the shop was lovely, and she had so many different yarns there. So if you're ever in Cleveland's, go into the shop. She was a lovely lady. Oh, I did get something else as well. I'll show you in a minute. I've just remembered. And Funny Feet. I loved how these look. By James C. Brett. It's not something we can get here. 4 ply sock yarn, 400 meters, 50% superwash wool, 25% bamboo, and 25% polyamide. So this is the first time I've ever had a bamboo in my sock, and I just thought they looked really funky, and I love funky socks. So yeah, I'm looking forward to making my socks with this. These will be mine. So I'll show you the other thing that I bought that I forgot about. I picked up myself a bag. How cute is this? So this is a sheep bag, and it's one of them pull tie ones, which I've never had. So that's really cool. And it wasn't too expensive. It's called Felted Sheep by Emma Ball, and she's actually on, she actually has a website, emmaball.co.uk. So I may have to go back on there and see what else she has. But they had 3 or 4 different ones of these. They had Gonk's one, then they had this one, then they had one where all the sheep had sweaters on in the shop. So yeah, I'm super happy with this. It's going to be my sock knitting bag, and I'm so happy with it. And it's so nice to bring a bag back because as you may know from last year when I was talking, I don't buy the expensive bags. I just use the lunch bags like that you get in the shops and stuff for my projects. And I also now, for the bigger ones, I have my Springwools bag, and I also have a This Is Knit bag from last year when I went to visit. Hold on. So yeah, I'm collecting them as well, because why not? So if you like what you've seen, please hit subscribe. I'm hoping to be on now once a week at least. Now I'm back feeling much better. I had the flu over Christmas, and I had some health issues before Christmas, so I wasn't able to podcast. But please like and subscribe. I will be doing some more visits to other yarn shops as and when I find them. Hopefully I'll have lots of new updates on the items that I've been making by next week, so I can show you what I've been doing, and I may even have a couple more cast-ons. So thank you so much for joining me once again. Happy knitting, happy crochet, and I'll see you again very soon. See you later. Bye.